You know what I'm surprised about? I'm surprised, Gary, why don't you ask the president to make the Gulf the #1 issue, make that a national security issue, and plant himself near the Gulf Coast and declare a state of emergency and bring the brightest minds there and try to solve that problem. That's what puzzles. I had a loss. But hey, to your question, you asked me another question that was about Colin Powell. What did I think about Colin Powell?
Yeah.
Do any of you have the book by Norman Schwarzkopf about his background? Okay. Norman Schwarzkopf is my hero. Here's a guy that was picked to lead CENTCOM, Central Command, in that battle area, became the command general in charge of that battle area because he was overweight, old, and ready to retire. So if they needed a fall guy, they had a fall guy. Remember the Gulf War? We had bought 50,000 body bags. Do you remember this? And how we were prepared for mass chaos and all this? Well, Colin Powell was one of the guys that was instrumental in picking Norman Schwarzkopf because they thought, number one, Norman Schwarzkopf was a West Point graduate who wrote a book on desert warfare in the Middle East. So he knew something about the area, not a book, but a paper in his war college days. So he knew something about it, but was he prepared and ready? They thought, you know, here's a guy we could use as a fall guy if our air-land battle doctrine fails. So to me, again, I liked what McChrystal did about resigning because he had to. But it's better to be upfront and tell people what you think and be honest with yourself. I think Norman Schwarzkopf was. I think Tommy Franks was. I think General Petraeus is. I think General Abizade was. But in my viewpoint, Colin Powell is obviously a public leader, public opinion leader. But I have very few, Gary, I don't know about you, but I have very few heroes to look up to. And I don't care how old you are, it's important for us to have heroes and people that set a standard, set a role model that we all should follow. And there's very few around. I want to put Colin Powell on that list. So, yes, sir.
Can I ask a question on a state issue?
Yes.
Where do you stand on the opening up the Constitutional Convention?
I'm against it. Even though I'm running for federal Congress, I'm against it. And the only reason is why meddle with a good thing. What we need to do is have our legislators battle out the issues legislatively and allow people to see those legislative issues publicly. Now, you get into a constitutional convention, as you know, can create many problems. And we start messing, especially, by the way, and Gary, you may want to take note of this, but we're going to have a huge, unless you pass another stimulus to give us more Obama bucks, we're going to have some serious problems financially. We're going to have some serious problems in the state of Michigan. We're going to have to make some serious decisions about what we cut and what we don't cut. Let me just real quickly. Yes, ma'am.
I'm quite interested in how the Republicans feel about the Tea Party. I have a question. Sarah Palin is considered one of the leaders of the Tea Party. Would you campaign with her proudly?
Okay.
How do you feel about this?
How do I feel about Sarah Palin? I like Sarah Palin.
The Tea Party.
The Tea Party? Well, first let me address the Sarah Palin, go backwards if you don't mind. I like Sarah Palin. I think she's a outspoken leader, a public opinion leader. But like I said, I have very few heroes left. I want somebody that has been tried and tested in all areas, in business, in military, in politics, in all areas, and been as successful. There's very few people like that. We're all human, right? Do I believe she's the leader of the Tea Party? No. You know what I believe about the Tea Parties? And I don't believe they're angry people. They're frustrated. I'm a Republican that happens to be kind of, I guess, a Tea Party Republican, because here's my problem. I don't want to go to Washington to take orders from the Republican leadership in Washington.
Thank you.
If Republicans are wrong, Republicans are wrong. If Democrats are wrong, Democrats are wrong. I happen to be a Republican because I believe in the Republican Party platform. I don't believe in the wine and cheese Republican Party. is a schism there because I'm not what they call a rhino, a Republican in name only, or a dino, because there's those two. Let me put it to you this way. I'm a patriot, and I think we need more patriots and less politicians. Gary, if I win or lose this election on the issues and I fight for them happily, I'll be very happy. But to sell my soul, to buy my future on this earth, is something that I'm thoroughly against. And that's what happens in Washington. Because, Gary, I bet you any money that Gary went to Washington wanting to represent his district with good intentions. Gary, you may have had good intentions, but the problem is this. The problem is he got there and he got pressured by Nancy Pelosi, Steny Hoyer, and the likes of all of them. The system. The system corrupts. And that's why we need more politicians, we need more people. We need more people to stand up that are willing to stand up for their districts. Here's what my dad taught me when I was a state legislator. My dad taught me this. When you vote on an issue, it needs to be this way. It has to be constitutional. Is it constitutional? Yes or no? Is it a core value that you campaigned on? Yes or no? And then you have to represent your people. You have to be transparent, and whatever they ask you to do, if they've got a problem, you bend over backwards, you move mountains to help them. Otherwise, don't run for office. If you're going to run for office and be told what to do by one party or another, then what kind of representative are you? You're a partisan, you're not a representative. So did I answer your question? The Tea Party, I don't view the Tea Party as a negative thing. I view the Tea Party as a positive thing because they're actually cleaning up and holding people accountable. And they will hold me accountable too. Let me tell you, how many people are here from the I-Caucus? Independence Caucus, one gentleman. They came to my house to interview me. They spent 4 hours around my dining room table, 5 individuals that came to my house, put a tape recorder, and boy, Paul, you think you're obtrusive. They put a microphone and a video camera, and they asked me all types of questions. It was like being a Taliban inmate being questioned, you know, and you know, name, rank, serial number, and then it went downhill from there with all these questions. And I was happy to earn their support. And these are Tea Party patriots that want to know, because folks, you've seen too many campaigns. There are way too many campaigns, and we've always been told this election is historic. It's the most important. And we've also been told, you know, I won't be like all those others. Only to be disappointed. Gary, you disappointed us. Because you said you weren't going to be like all those others. And in your flyer, most recently, his flyer that said he's a moderate. And by the way, he told us that Washington is broken. Thanks for the good news. I do believe Washington is broken. And I apologize that I'm playing to the camera a little bit. I have to smile more often because of that. Because this is what politics has got us to. It's more important to win an election. It's more important to win an election and just raise whatever millions of dollars it is to retain that seat than it is to truly represent you or me or this person right here. And that's the problem. Until we start getting money out of politics,